Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach. Welcome to the podcast and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Woo, we made it.
We did. I today am drinking decaf black coffee, which I feel is like fake coffee, but still I'm working on my fight or flight response. So I am drinking black coffee with Kahlua in it, coffee liqueur. I quite love it. In my new Starbucks mug.
I like it.
What are you drinking?
Well, I am feeling the chi today.
Love it.
I'm drinking out of my Chi Girl cup. It was this or Wonder Woman. And I felt like, as much as I love Wonder Woman, I am Chi Girl. And a little salted caramel whiskey in it.
Oh, yum. With a big, huge ice cube. Mm-hmm. Nice. I love it.
And it's good. It's points.
I love it.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Did you get your lips done?
No, but I've lost weight and my face is smaller. I'm pretty sure. My lips are bigger. My teeth might look bigger too. I don't know, but no, my face is smaller. I am having such a great day today. Today I stepped on the scale and I am down 15 pounds. And for anyone who knows my story, I've worked for the government for 23 and a half years. I was in constant fight or flight. And that 23 and a half years added to perimenopause just put me in this state of like chronic inflammation and an absolute inability to lose weight. And I say that almost with the like something in the back of my mind going, Sandra, that's not true. Sandra, that's not true. I gained weight actively trying to lose it. That is the truth. And I remember at one point thinking, if this is stress that is causing, I would rather it be a disorder. I'd rather it be an illness that was causing my weight gain, because stress or my mindset causing this, it felt like it was too much to change. I felt like I couldn't change it.
And that's where the power is.
That is exactly where the power is. And it's so fun because once the scale starts to drop, the momentum starts to take over, and then it just drops off faster and faster and faster.
So I have a question. When you were gaining weight while actively trying to lose weight, you thinking you were fat?
Oh gosh, I've thought I've been fat for 40 pounds less. like the whole time. When they say, I wish I was as fat as when I first thought I was fat, or whatever that saying is, right? Yeah.
We've got to stop thinking we're fat, because when that thought is in our head and we're telling it over and over and over again, we develop behaviors that reinforce that and say, see, you're right.
Yeah.
You're eating this, you're doing this, and that's going to make you, and it compounds it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I mean, the more I read about my doctor, when it was February 27th when I was in my doctor's office in the waiting room with a bunch of people, and I was crying. Like, thank goodness we would still wear masks in the doctor's office, because at least we could kind of hide it.
Put some sunglasses on.
Yeah. But I was crying in the doctor's office because I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I don't really love to take pills or anything.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting there thinking earlier, should I ask him for Ozempic, right? Like, Ozempic is that No, no, no,
You will
never.
never, ever, ever get off of it, or you will gain your weight back. It's a
Well,
lifelong drug.
they won't let you stay on it.
No,
And
they will, or they do here.
oh, not in Canada. They say you can only be on it for, at one point it was 6 months. And now I think it's like 18. But I mean, I see all, like they're always saying, oh, all the Real Housewives are on Ozempic. They're all, you know, and I had read a study that morning. Like I thought, do I just need something that will help regulate my sugars? Like, what is the problem? And I kept asking everyone, what is the problem? Why am I like, I'm trying so hard? And I had read that morning that the side effects, and I burst into tears because this was like my shot in the dark when I'm really super desperate.
Yeah.
Right?
Your magic pill.
That was gone. And I knew I don't believe in magic pills either. I don't believe in that stuff. And yet I was to the point where I was crying in the doctor's office. I walked in and he said to me, also, no, you don't want Ozempic. But I told him I know. And he said, just buy bigger clothes. You'll be okay. Women your age, they hold on to inflammation weight. And when you go through to menopause, you will start to lose the inflammation weight. And so I was crying that day. I was crying the next day. And I told my naturopathic doctor, and she's like, I got you. And I just, in that moment, I really felt like I surrender.
Yeah.
I surrender. She's going to help me. She's my magic pill. I'm going to trust in.
You are your magic pill. You're it.
Oh,
You're
me.
it. Yeah.
I didn't have faith that I could do it though, right? Because I tried. I mean, I did hard workouts. I did ridiculously strict diets. I was like doing all of these things, and it wasn't
feeling fat.
And feeling fat and like physically gaining a lot. And
well, yeah, because that's where your focus was.
Right. And it was so interesting because this morning, as I put on this shirt that I haven't worn in a long time and looked in the mirror and went, fuck, this is pretty good. Oh my God, I feel so great.
Yeah.
And I stepped on the scale this morning and I was at a weight that I hadn't been for quite some time, but more so, even though I'm like, I remember being this weight before, but my body has shifted because I'm working out. So it's smaller than it was at that weight, you know? And I remember thinking how sad that I couldn't get there. You said to me, find something that you love about your body. There goes the dogs. Find something that you love about your body and focus on that. I don't care what it is, whether it's your fingernails, whether it's your eyelashes, whether it's your toes, whether it's your fingers, it doesn't matter. You have to get to the space where you love something and your mind's like, that's where your mindset goes. Loving the body that you're in, go buy some clothes that make you feel great. And you can be hot at any size. And I remember thinking, I desperately want that. But wow, I couldn't get there.
It's a stretch.
It was a stretch for me in that moment because I had spent so many years judging myself and so many years of feeling failure, and 40 pounds I gained feeling failure. That's all I knew. That was comfortable. That it was comfortable to judge myself as a failure because that's what I knew.
Yeah.
And this morning, when I felt great in my body, I felt great in my clothes, I felt great in my new face.
And those new lips.
And my new lips that I didn't need to get injected. I thought, how fucking sad that I judged myself so harshly and couldn't get here without a number on the scale or without a size on my pants or without a size on my clothes. Like, and I wish I could go back in time, which we never can.
You can't.
But go ahead.
You can't go back, but you can start now. Because although I want to point out for a minute that you're not where you want to be.
No.
And the only reason I'm pointing that out right now is that you feel fucking badass.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that you're not exactly where you want to be.
It's so true.
Hang on to that.
It's so true. Like I really think like, yeah, I love it. And that was but that was my realization this morning too, right? Like, it's like, I still have more to go that I want to lose, but I'm so proud of myself now. Yeah. I'm so happy with myself now. I can look in the mirror and go, hey, this looks good on me today.
Try it with your naked body.
All right.
I mean it.
That will be a stretch.
You don't have to love everything in your naked body, but I want you to start looking at things going, damn, girl, looking good. Is it your legs? Is it your ass? It's not my ass. I avoid my ass at all costs. But you want to look at
take video and put it on OnlyFans or whatever it's called. Like, so true. You know, but
you have momentum.
That is like the momentum of loss and the belief in myself that I can do it. And here's the thing. It didn't start with a belief in myself. It started with a belief in my naturopathic doctor, or maybe her belief that it would work. And I needed that.
And that's okay.
Needed that. Yeah.
It's like people coming to me for Ideal Protein. They can totally do this. They don't know they can do this. That is a tool to remind them. And then it's like, let's get the mindset straight. Let's get your head screwed on straight. Priorities straight. And appreciate yourself. Wherever you are.
Exactly. And it's funny though, because I think if I don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking about this. Like, I had such a great conversation going on with myself today. But like, just really sitting, I love to sit in you and I both love to sit in observance of our thoughts as though they're like, for me, I sit as though they're outside of me, of my soul. Like, my mind is just working, and it has all of these like its own idiosyncrasies, and it's not necessarily who I am, but it's what I think. Like, that's, I kind of separate it out like that. And so it was interesting for me to sit in observance of my thoughts, in observance of my mind, and go, well, that's interesting that I can do this now and I couldn't before. It's interesting that before, when I stepped on the scale, and this same number that makes me so thrilled today made me so fucking depressed before, it's so amazing to me that my mind could have taken the same thing, the same trigger, the scale, the number on the scale. And take two completely different paths. One down the rabbit hole to despair, and one up this like magical mountain of I don't know what.
Isn't that amazing? Same exact scenario.
Same thing. The only thing that was different was the trajectory I was going on, kind of, right? Like, I had the momentum. It was like, when I saw the number on the scale, it was like, oh my God, yay. And it'll be lower tomorrow, because it just seems to be falling off now that I have my head on. And before, it was like today it felt like success, and before it felt like failure. And it was just a fucking number.
It still is. And I want to tell you, your worth, you need to hang on to this feeling that you have right now, because your worth, let's say tomorrow the scale doesn't go down. or maybe it's not tomorrow, maybe it's next week. And then the scale stops for a day. If your worth is all tied in on that fucking number going down, then you're going to get on the scale and go, oh, I'm fat again. I'm worthless. This was all for nothing. Yeah. And it's important to feel what you're feeling and know that it's going to take care of itself.
Well, and I also, on this path to where I am, I mean, for years and years and years, when I was a Beachbody coach, there's so many trends, right? So at one point it was like, step on the scale only once a week or only once a month, or don't focus on the scale. Don't look at the scale. You're gaining muscle. You're swollen in your muscles. You're blah, 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 you know? And then the next program would be like, step on the scale every fucking day so that you know what did you eat and how can you adjust. And don't make the scale mean anything.
Nothing.
Just
it's a gauge.
Facts, knowledge, like just awareness. And I do like that. And I had to work really hard on that to see, okay, I went up 2 pounds yesterday. I didn't gain 2 pounds of fat, but I'm holding on to retention. Why? So I could make it mean neutral, nothing. And I still, while I'm losing, like, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it when I was gaining and I didn't know why.
Okay.
Then it became a method of failure.
Yes.
Also a tool of fear.
And
because
paralyze you.
Yes.
Don't show up, Sandra. You can't show up.
Yeah. And I would step on the scale. Yeah. I would step on the scale and I would be scared, and I would step on it and I would look at it. And if I was up or even the same, I hadn't lost, but mostly if I was up, I would feel all the feelings, the anger, the frustration, the fear. Where am I going to go? I cried so many days to my husband saying, what number am I going to see next? When is this going to stop? I don't know what to do anymore. Where am I going to go?
You had yourself at 400 pounds.
Yes. I very much was on like my 600-pound life.
Yeah.
You know, and I, in my mind, no one can see me right now unless they're watching the video. So like, you know, they might think, but like, I very much could see myself like, where am I? Like the fear just took over. Yeah. And I remember saying to my husband, what am I going to do? And so he was so desperate. I mean, he has a herbology degree. Like he doesn't, you know, he would not be the person that would say, why don't you talk to the doctor about Ozempic? But he could see the pain that I was going through emotionally. And it was like, he just wanted that to stop for some reason, right? Or in some way. And so it was so beautiful because it's the year, yes. And I just thought, okay, what do I need? I think I need maybe like it was a shot in the dark. Maybe it's this, maybe it's my blood sugar, maybe it's that, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's perimenopause, maybe I'm stuck, maybe I can't do this. And I created all of these like possible scenarios so that I could try something for 6 weeks or 2 weeks or 6 days. And all of a sudden it was like, I need a naturopath that can tell me what it is. Not a doctor that says it's just perimenopause, it's inflammation, weight. That didn't make sense to me. And so it just was like one soul-led thing to like stepping stones to now.
Isn't life like that though?
It is.
If we fucking just listen.
Yeah.
We get the nudge, or we ask a friend, I need this. They send us a link. We get on the website. We look at it. We're like, and then it leads to the next thing and the meeting. And I mean, life is like that. And
you were talking about this last week on the podcast too.
Yeah.
About how you were thinking about signing up for this master class or mastermind. And I mean, let's face it, the fact that you even knew about it was probably divinely led.
Yeah.
Right? Like how do we come upon the things that we do? And then
I asked my friend, I said, hey, I read Atomic Habits. It's I need a group. I need a group of like-minded women. And I've looked everywhere and I don't know where to go. She's like, call Pegeen. Gave me her website.
Wow. Nice.
Almost said no. Almost said, I don't know if this is for me.
And then, but then you found the book too, right? Like then you like hesitated and sign up, and then you found the book again, and it was a sign.
I found the book, and I mean, I hadn't seen the book in years, but I knew I had it. And I was cleaning the cobwebs. If I hadn't moved that cabinet, I would have not found that book. But when I found that book, it was almost as though God himself came to me and said, do you get the picture now?
Yeah.
Like, hello, are you listening, McFly?
Yeah. It's so, but we don't listen. That's the thing. It's like, there are stepping stones, I think, that just appear in the middle of the water. Like I visualize this thing I saw somewhere. But like in the middle of the water, it looks like there's no way to get across. And then all of a sudden, one stepping stone appears, and then another stepping stone appears, and then another stepping stone appears. But if we don't take off the fucking blindfold, we're never going to cross.
Yeah. Or even if we see it and we go, well, I don't know if that's going to sink.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's not really safe. It's in the water. Maybe I shouldn't step. Maybe I should stay safe over here on land. Yeah. Even though the universe is lining up the stepping stones to get me across.
Exactly.
I'm just going to stay here. It's safe over here.
And you know, I have to say, for probably 3 years as I gained.
Yeah.
I was talking to my daughter, and she worked with a naturopathic doctor when she was in her teens because she had gained some weight, and I think hormonal weight, but some, you know.
Yeah.
And her doctor was saying, like, you know, you need to lose that. Well, our doctor, I don't know. But anyway, he was telling her, you're not too big, but you want to make sure that you lose a little bit. And she is like crazy teeny now, like 100 pounds. Like she's crazy small. But she was struggling and she was frustrated and she was upset. And so she started, I had taken her to this naturopathic doctor, and she got like food sensitivity test. She just stayed away from the foods that she was sensitive to, and it just like vanished. All of the inflammation went away and her metabolism shifted. And she went from like literally eating salads and that's it. No gluten, no sugar, no nothing, like just pretty much like vegetables and protein, to eating whatever she wants. And it was just like reducing the inflammation and fixing her gut flora and all of these things, which she did. And she, you know, it's so funny because she was like 12 at the time. And so now that she's 18, but even when she was 15, 16, 17, she's like, Mom, just go to a naturopathic doctor. And I didn't listen. It was a stepping stone she was throwing in my face. And I wasn't listening because I kept thinking, surely it can't be
that easy. How's this child going to know what's best for my old ass?
Yeah.
Because the universe told her to tell you.
And I also think there was moments where, just to make myself feel better, I would say it's perimenopause. Well, yeah. So I'm not a failure. This is a situation I don't like, or it's a stage of my life. And I see other women in perimenopause also bigger pants. And, you know, so it is the way that it is. And I hate that saying even, but I am not a failure. It's just I don't know, cards I've been dealt. And yeah, it's been a fascinating
Yeah.
process for me to now look back, you know, almost halfway
Yeah.
on this journey back and see how much damage I did to myself by being so hard on myself,
Yeah.
by not listening to the nudges, by not taking the risks, by not trying something else,
Yeah.
by being so fearful that it wouldn't work.
And then
Didn't
what
try.
you didn't show up for and what
Oh,
you didn't believe was possible for you because of a few fucking pounds.
yeah.
And I don't care if it was 100 pounds. We
Yeah.
all deserve to show up.
Yeah.
The one of
And I
us.
mean, yes, because today it was like I wanted to go back to the biggest me and give her the biggest hug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to do that in a meditation. But I really did because I thought, wow, that poor girl who
Yeah.
was sitting in the doctor's office crying
And beaten up.
about her weight,
Yeah. And
beating
beaten up by the woman that she lives with,
yeah, in her
her
own tent. Yeah.
closest person,
Yeah.
just beating her with the bat.
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
I know.
We would never do that.
And everything. It's in
Yeah.
everything. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like I often in my business, I often will say how business is exactly like weight loss.
Mhm.
And I can't see them. They're exactly the same.
Everything's the same.
Yeah.
Every scenario is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
And I think, wow, like so many times in business, we don't show up until it's perfect.
Yeah.
We don't show up until everything looks good. We don't launch our business until we've got a fucking website. And then even when we do have a website, we think, fuck, I'm not even using this. I mean, one of my coaching clients this week, she said, well, I have a website and I haven't ever gotten a client from the website. And I said, where are you advertising your website? Oh, I'm not. Okay, perfect.
How are they going to
Um,
find you?
yeah, you know, but we get these ideas that in order to be viable, in order to be taken seriously, we have to be a certain size. We have to have a certain amount of money. We have to have a business that we love, and that also looks exactly the way that everyone thinks that it should look. And even though no one has this idea, but we think that they do,
We're
and we
so
don't
fucking
show
conditional.
up. We are. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was going to write a post like that in the middle of the night. It was like that if then mentality,
Yeah.
right? Like, if this happens, then I'll step into that. If I'm this certain weight, then I'm going to show the fuck up. If I have this website, then they will come. If
Yeah.
I, you know, have
Yeah.
this car, my life will change. It's like,
Yeah.
if I sign with this team, my whole life will change. Like,
Yeah. If I get this lover, have
yeah,
the baby, whatever,
yeah,
whatever it is that we're using as I'm going to
yeah,
feel good when. Fucking
yeah,
feel good now.
yeah.
That's where the magic is. And we
And
lose our magic because we think it's somewhere else.
and I think it's where the magic is, and I also think it's where the work is.
Oh,
Think
certainly.
we think the work is in we think the work is in the diet, it's in the workout, it's in the people we're with, it's in the posts that we write, it's in the programs that we run, it's in the masterminds that we join, and it fucking isn't at all. The work is between our ears.
Yeah. Yeah. It's us. We are the
That's
work.
where the work is. And
That's
I
where the work.
fully, I took I signed up for this. I don't even know why, but it just showed up in my newsfeed because who doesn't love Matthew McConaughey? And he did this, I know. And he did this like a
It was a
4 hour,
live
yeah,
thing with Tony
Art
Robbins.
of Living, The Art of Living with
That's it.
Matthew McConaughey. So I signed up for this thing, and I was not live. I didn't need to be, but
Right.
so I'm watching it now, and it was just so freaking fascinating to me, because I just thought, wow, he said that he has journaled for 35 years. 35 years. And what he said was, he doesn't journal to remember. He journals to forget. And it was so fucking powerful for me. And he says that in the Green Lights book as well.
Mm-hmm.
I journaled to forget, because we have all these fucked up thoughts in our head. And all we need to do is journal them out so we can move past them.
Or say them
forget.
out loud to hear how ridiculous we are.
Yes. In
Yeah.
the subconscious mind, or in the back of our minds, they're very valid.
Yeah.
And then they come out of our mouth sometimes, and you think,
true.
oh, right.
They're so true.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the time that I was journaling? It was early in me and Paul's marriage, and we just had 2 babies, like life was crazy, and I'm journaling, and 2, I had agreed to be a submissive wife.
Right there.
And I realized, yeah, that's not me. I was just trying to be good, but I can't do that.
No.
So I was journaling, and I would write all my feelings, and I'm so sorry for me, and this sucks, and why did I do this? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, a little bit of time passes, and I'm wanting to stew in it, roll around in the dog shit, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened up my journal and I started reading, and I'm reading it going, what a pathetic piece of shit you are. What is wrong with you? Stop it.
Yeah. I know. That's where the power is.
Yeah, because it's like that. No, ma'am, not today.
And what I always tell any of my coaching clients, though, is like, when you're writing it, it is extremely real.
Oh,
it is
like
exactly how you feel when you're
Correct.
writing it. It is so real. And it's so real. And that is what is running amok in the back of your mind.
Yeah. The
And
bullshit that
so
seems real.
It seems real. You think it's real.
Yeah.
And then the process I love is to just, similar to the scale, write it out like it means nothing. Just like, I'm going to scratch out all of the stupid shit that's running around the back of my mind. That's just old crap. That's just, like stupid stuff that doesn't even matter, and make it mean nothing. I will not allow myself to judge myself on what it was that I just wrote. And then I say, I release this all now. Lord, what will you have me do? God, what will you have me do? Universe, what will you have me do?
Yeah.
How can I move through this with grace? And then just see what comes out on the page. Another journaling prompt that I do, or way that I do it, is sometimes I write, this is how I'm feeling now. And I write it all out. And then I rip it up. And I don't rip it up violently. I just gently rip the papers, like grateful for all of those thoughts, because they kept me safe, and appreciative of the fact that I am willing and able to let them go now. And so I rip them up gently. I reread first.
Yeah.
Because when you reread it, you go, whoa.
Yeah.
What the actual hell was I doing here? This is wild that I feel this.
Yeah.
And then I've been carrying this baggage.
And treating it as truth.
Yeah. And then I gently rip it up, and then I take it outside, because we don't want that in my house. Take it outside and put it in the garbage, or burn it.
I always burn them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I was clearing out stuff. Closet. You remember the closet.
I do remember the closet. And the bedazzled pad.
Tampon and
tampon.
pad. Yes. that I'd had for 20 years. Not use, I mean, really, come on.
You're not going to use them. No.
But I found
You'd be awfully fancy if you did, though.
Yes. But I found some things that I had written that I didn't feel like could go in the trash. Like they needed to be burned. And it felt good. And so when I do have those moments, I'm like, honey, I need a fire. And he'll go get some wood out and go to our fire pit and start a little fire for me and just let me, he knows.
Yeah.
Here she goes again.
Yeah.
But I think we're like really out of time.
I feel like we are, but this was such a good podcast.
So good. I know. It's like I don't want to stop, but
I know.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing today, because what you shared about your process for where you got, God, it applies to everything.
It really does.
Doesn't matter what it is. So I thank you for that, because I needed to hear some of that today too. So,
oh, I love that.
And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.